all sentience on Earth, to be eliminated, like the red button scenario, is a positive. Done. We've prevented now a future trillion animals prevented on life, and that's a good. What if there was like a black button that was, you hit the black button and it doesn't just eliminate all life. Everything on Earth is tortured for 24-hour period, and then all life ends. Is it ethical to even push that black button? I'm just trying to push the red button a little bit farther to see where does that line go. Even then, would it be ethical to be basically the Hitler for 24 hours before you become the Jesus of the red button?
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. I want to start off by saying, nature is already pressing the button for us and it's torturing things. So the black button scenario would actually cause less suffering than the button that's already being pushed.
Great point. Yeah. Somehow pushing a black button to continue that for just one more day is now you're the most evil, that's the most evil thing you could say.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess I get frustrated a little bit with anti-natalist, community that have real issues with the red button thing, or even just ethilism in general, that they see that as somehow just this horrible thing.
As an ethilist, I believe that the only objective problem in the universe is sentient life. To abolish it, it's like we got to go 100% red button. That's the best way to do it, and in a graceful, peaceful manner. Preferably either we go red button or not at all.
Assuming better alternatives are not open to us, would ending the war by the violent means be justified? I think if we make these assumptions, it would be justified. And I think the argument is fundamentally no different for bringing about the end of life on Earth, even if this were to involve some additional suffering to the last generation.
So I don't think the mere desire to continue living is a reason for continuing to exist, any more than the desire to continue anything that is ultimately harmful to us can be given as a reason for continuing such things.
My advice to anybody, my advice is always to end life. I think every single human being should, if they can, if they have the guts to, if they have the means to, if they don't have anyone in their life that they're worried about hurting, they should end it. There's no good in continuing life. Every single day brings harm. Every single day brings risk. So my advice is to opt out of this hellhole, this madhouse.
Whenever a huge tragedy occurs, like a child being born with cancer, a pregnant woman getting run over. Actually, that's maybe not a tragedy because the child doesn't have to be born. But anyway.
So here's another quote. Sleep is good. Death is better. But of course, the best thing would to have never been born at all.
Dear Lord, I pray that no more children will be placed into this awful and dangerous and hideous world of unpredictability. And I pray that the existing people that are in this lifetime, their lives will be very short.
In order to have something like a Manhattan Project for a graceful exit, the majority of people will need to at least understand why one is needed. The main priority should be to convince others of 4 main truths that explain why there should be a graceful exit.
Ended up coming to Amanda's The Aethelist. And there we are. And basically, so that's why I'm an anti-natalist. From the arguments put forward to me by the clips and opinions, but very strongly from this movie here. We can start with anti-natalism, but moving on to atheism really is the next logical step.